Hey Chris, how you doing my friend? Just working on this Xbox 360 controller at the minute. It's had a problem. The wire snapped off for the rumble motors, which I've managed to get them on, but they're buggers. They won't go on that front. Absolutely won't even go on. How you been my friend? I wasn't even going to do a stream, to be honest. I thought, there's no one else. Mr. PC's just finished. I thought MK's on. I thought that's about it. So I thought I might, because I've got a few Xbox, not bad. Yeah, obviously, Chris, I sorted that Xbox out, which I didn't know. You know that I've got, for some reason, my X Flasher wasn't working. Right, I haven't tried it. I'm going to try it next because I've been so busy sorting out stuff for the charity, which is doing really well at the moment on that Xbox 360. The other Xbox that I managed to dump the bin files to the computer, and then it got stuck in Zell, and then JRunner weren't detecting through the connections. I checked all the wires, it was everything. It won't detect. So then I thought, oh great, now I've got a fucking Xbox stuck in Zell and I can't get it out. I googled, apparently, I didn't know this, that you can actually upload the bin files straight to Zell. Right? You just plug the USB in, as long as it's in FAT32, you just upload the uploaded bin file that you was going to flash to it, and it takes it automatically. Hey Stu, how you doing my friend? And yeah, I dumped it in and it fucking updated and it's been fine. It flashed it automatically and I got it back up and running. But obviously I didn't jump into that. Yeah, that's the way that I did it years ago. Yeah, I didn't know that. I had to Google it because I thought, well, now great, I've got an Xbox now stuck in Zell. I can't flash it back. I can't go forward. How do I bloody hell get out of Zell? You can't, because it's flashed to the NAND. So I've managed to just take that uploaded bin file. That was obviously the mod was fine. It for some reason it just stopped working. I need to have a look at it today. I'll need to have a look to see if that's the case, because I won't have much luck on it. I hope that ain't gone, because they're nearly 40 quid them flash files, which obviously I'm not going to pay that again. Not if it just keeps breaking. How many have I done? How many have I actually RGH'd? About 7. And now it's not detecting. I'm just hoping I'm going to have to connect it. I'm going to have to do an RGH to direct to the board, see if I can pull the NAND and the information off. On that front, I'm just hoping it ain't bloody. But I managed to get. And now I know if it's stuck in Zell, you can do it that way. You believe it or not, you can just upload the bin file and flash it straight back to the NAND, so you can unbrick it. So that's one good aspect. I've never seen Michael do that, use that technique. Now I know that works. That's got me out of trouble because I thought, oh, great, now it's stuck in a bloody position. Now I can't do anything. Hey, been Stu? Sorry, my friend. Give me 1 minute and I'll be with you. This controller, for some reason, I've just been hearing. I've been lurking in the background, listening to Mr. PCDD. Right? He was talking about this flux he bought from AliExpress. This is why AliExpress stuff is not great. Oh, and 2 cans of me IPA tank update. £10 a can. This is. And it's getting harder to get, even at £10 a can. It's really good stuff. It cleans it ultra. It's better than my other gear. But it's a tenner a can, and no one else sells it. I'm okay, thank you myself. I'm just trying to wrap up that video. That speaker crap was made. Oh God, yeah, because Mr. Pico, because I had to dump it yesterday. I had to deliver. I'd go around there this morning. It cost me, what did it cost me to send all them items? About 18.5 quid it cost me this morning, which weren't too bad. I was, it's a lot better than £47 one way, which I couldn't. I think no, I'm not paying that. That's just not acceptable. I went, Stu, I tried putting some LEDs on this, right? You know when I was doing this the other day, I like to leave it, right? For some reason, without that switch, right? Without that switch, it doesn't put power all the way up the board. It only puts it at the bottom end of the board. It doesn't put it all the way up the board. I'll put it onto the power rail and I'll show you. For some reason, that switch activates the chip to tell it to put power up to the board. That's probably why these ones, the rock candies, didn't have it. Which I'll plug it in now and I'll show you. Because I'll put it in continuity and I was testing it and I weren't getting power halfway up the board. So that switch is obviously a key figure. Right. So at the minute, I've got it all plugged in. Right. So now I've got my rumble motors all put back on. Good. I'll put the phone in, not the phone, the multimeter. Let me move them out of the way. I'll put it in volts and then do some voltages. Now I'm going to probe one end up here, which is going to be the earth on the board. Yeah, that's what Pico was asking for, like separate. Oh, for separate box I've made. Yeah, because I ain't ordered these parts yet because I have literally been run off my feet. I haven't stopped. You know, I'm trying to get projects done and I'm trying to help everyone else at the same time, and it's been manic, absolutely manic. Now I did probe this, which I'm getting 3.3 at the bottom here with that switch, nothing, and then across. Gary Bickery. Oh, that's alright, he's managed to get another phone. Oh, don't send me that. So I'm probing there. There 5 volts on that one, right? So it's 5 volts on the plus on this side, which I'm probing now. Well, it did do. Uh, 4.9 on that side. 4.9 on that side. 5 volts going to the thing, but when I come over to here, one of these is a capacitor, right? And if I look at the, where's that clone one? When I flip this over, right, we've got 2 capacitors, right? So we should have another capacitor over here to put voltage around this side of the board, which is not there. So there is a couple of bits missing off this board. This is why it's not getting power all the way around the board, because I'm trying to work it out. I'm glad I got this one, because even though it's made by the same company, it's just a different name. Do you reckon that you could make what Pico was asking for, Mick? What, a speaker box? I've done speaker boxes before. I've got electronic nail gun. The only thing I haven't got, I've got a bench saw. Stu, I built an 8-foot by 10-foot shed, all out of pallets. It would like 4 to 16 ohm speaker test box. I'm sure if I got the schematics, if you can give me the schematics, I could build one. It's just getting the materials at the end of the day. If Mr. Pico wants me to do it, I don't mind doing it. I'll do it live on stream. He wants me to build one. I haven't got a problem building one. As long as I've got, I can follow a guide. By all means, yeah. I'm not. That one that I put together, which is, where is it? Which is that little one. If I can find it. Oh, I'll take it back. No, I can't find it. It's buried. Yeah, you need a resistance to put inside so it can change between 4 to 16 ohms to test a load for amplifiers and and resistors. Yeah, like I said, if I had the thing on there, Stu, not a problem. If I had a guide to go to, I don't mind building it. I mean, this is the idea of learning and doing other bits and pieces, and like I said, it's also, it gives me something else to keep doing bloody Xboxes all the time. So by all means, I mean, I don't mind doing something different as long as I've got a guide to go through and follow, and that also gives me an insight of doing something else. So yeah, by all means, this is why I don't mind helping the community, but I expect it back in return when I need help. You know, there's things that beyond my limit I can't do, but then I don't mind helping out with my limit as well. So you know, it's you know, it's give and take. Well, I could actually send you some bits like heat sinks and stuff that you'll need to build a three-way it's a three-way switch. I'd love to watch you do it. Yes, yeah, I could. Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind. By all means, sir. I can send you that stuff back with that hard drive. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I haven't got a problem. And I might have to bend your ear holes for some help though, because obviously I don't normally do amplifiers. I'm not an expert on amplifiers. At the end of the day, you guys are the cream of the crop for that. Whatever you need, buddy, just let me know. 24 hours a day, Mick. Yeah. Well, like I said, the only thing I haven't got, Stu, are you on WhatsApp? Because there's me, Pico and Mr. Hotcows. We're on the WhatsApp. It's just, we find it easier on the WhatsApp to keep going to bloody, because, yeah, if you ever need help with anything, Mick, always have a number on Discord and my phone. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Do you have the WhatsApp on there, Stu? Because I'll tell you what, you can join the group of me, Mr. Pico and Hotcows on that front, and Andy's on there as well, and we all help each other out on that. And the reasons why we use the WhatsApp more than Discord, because Discord puts too many restrictions in, which obviously we don't get none of that issues. Hey Aaron, how you doing? Good afternoon, Mick and friends from a bright over in Penzance. How's it? Yeah, actually, Aaron, how is it today up there? It's actually quite nice out there, sir. As you can see, ultra bright, and well, obviously it don't help, but I've got the window wide open. Yep, I'll send you my number, and I might ask you to remember for me to. No, that's right. By all means, you're definitely most welcome there, Stu. Up front. If you get stuck in anything, us guys are here to help, and that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, the weather is actually miserable, mate. Oh, bloody hell, Aaron. It's actually beautiful here. Bit windy, but beautiful. I've got the window wide open. The only downside is, next door, they smoke drugs, which I'm not condemned with smoking the old cannabis. It's up to them if they want to smoke it, but I wish they keep the bloody window shut, because the wind blows it straight in and gives me an headache. And then I have to shut the window, and then I have to use loads. It's bad enough with Bronson. You know, if Bronson dropped one, that's it. What do you think? Or put it in a shredder. I have to use the bath. I have to use mousse spray, carpet mousse. So yeah, when Bronson actually drops one, I have to use linen, white linen, and lily.
Why are you gay?
Why are you gay?
You are gay. On that front.
I'm definitely not going to say that word. I know if Hotcows comes in, he always gets me to say it. He does. He always gets me to say it. Yeah, Stu, I'll add you in the old WhatsApp group, my friend. You can come in with us. And there, so there's a couple of us. There's a couple of us in the WhatsApp group. Really, I really should spend a day trying to get half of this configured with. I noticed PCDD earlier on. He was having an headache with StreamerBot. Then OBS wasn't working. His commands wasn't working. I thought, oh, for crying out loud. It's OBS. OBS and StreamerBot don't talk to each other too great. or we have buffering issues. Yeah, we get plenty of that. So, looking at this, it looks like we've got caps missing on this side, because I'm not getting voltages round from this side to the board for some reason. And so I was just trying to have a look. So, because this is identical, I was actually trying to see if I've got voltages round. What's causing the voltages not getting halfway round the board. Well, straight away I didn't notice there's a capacitor missing from this side and this side. And I think there's more than one cap missing. I think we got components missing, not pushing voltages up. And already I can see there's a capacitor missing from here, C4. What's that? No, C6. C6 is actually not working. There's a capacitor missing straight on it. Hey, BridgeTech, how you doing, my friend? So yeah, we have got a little bit of a an issue on here. That button's missing for sure, and I'm just having a look up this side. We've got capacitors, right? So I'm just having a look at the capacitor side on there. I'm just trying to compete and see if there's anything missing, because looks like there's quite a lot. That's probably why you're not getting voltages halfway around that board. Because it's bugging me. I thought, why am I not getting voltages round? And there is a slight difference on this board. We've got a microcontroller chip up here, right? Which is like, you guys can't get to see it. I'll tell you what, let me put the scope on and it's easier to show you. Right, if I plug it, oh, it would help if I plugged it in. Duh. Right. Let me bring her up to the Neo capture. Right, the issue that I've got, right, there is some different variations on this board. Straight away, I noticed here, right, we've got a chip. Right, we've got a controller chip here, right, which is right next to the line input, right. Now, if I show you underneath the other one, the Afterglow one, right, that controller chip, oh, it is up there. Oh, I didn't see it. There is a controller chip up there. I thought it was missing. I'll be right back. No worries, Stu. I thought that was missing. It's not. But we have got components missing, and that's what I'm a bit concerned of, because when I look back at this board, and it is switched on, you can actually see. Got power here. We've got the OSCE. Only thing is different up here, right? There is some different variations, and I'll show you why there are different variations. If you look around this end, we've got an OSCE, we've got a crystal, right, paired in straight to this chip, all round here. Now, let me show you in the Afterglow one. That's missing, that's not even on there. There's no bloody chip. We've got no crystal going right over. So there is some different variations. That's probably the reasons why I'm not getting voltages round. I think the crystal might be linked, because again, underneath that, can I actually see it? I don't think you can actually see it. I think that chip's right underneath it. I don't think we've got a chip underneath this. I'll tell you what, give me a minute, let me grab me torch. Hey, Grass Puddle, how you doing, I'm glad you popped on, I ain't seen you for ages. How you been, my friend? I like them Afterglow controllers. Do you know what? I was only just saying that, right? These Afterglow ones, This one had a fault, and I had to repair it. It had a broken coil right here. It was snapped right across. I paid £2.50 for it, £2.50 postage. So in dollars, it's probably going to be about $7, give or take, less than $7 shipped. And this one, I've also got the. It's made by the. Look, you can. It's made by the company PDP, right? Now, I've got this one here, which is Rock Candy, right? Now, the Rock Candy is made by the same company, right? It's just that it's got Rock Candy and it's got pdp.com, which you can see. So these are the same controllers, just that this one's got Afterglow and it's got a button for the LEDs. Or you say, put it in a bin, which I totally agree. Yeah, expect to just bung it straight in the bin. Put it in the. I always. This is why I love having a bin command. You've got to have a bin command. You know, otherwise, what's the point? Just bung it in a bin. If we don't like it, I totally agree with you. Bung it in a bin. So, what I was trying to do, I had an issue with this one. Obviously, I've done a custom LED. On this one, so this one's lighting up pink. It had a green one. Hey, Pico, Mr. Pico, I've sent them items off. He did scrutinise it. He said, "You sure that don't come under a large box?" I went, "No. If you check, it was another couple of inches before it goes to large." He checked. He measured them up. He said, "No, you're okay." It weighed just over 8 kilo. So my scales are out a little bit. They are out a little bit, but they've been sent. He's took them on that front. So yeah, there is some. What I'm saying is there is some different variations on this Afterglow one, because this Afterglow hasn't got a crystal, which this one's got a crystal on it, straight to the chip itself. But the Afterglow, even though it's made by the same company, this one don't have a crystal. And there's components missing. Hey, TFN! You finished work? TFN, yeah, I thought, because I was watching I was in Mr. Swindon's stream earlier. I was just lurking in the background. In that front. I mean, these ones, obviously, I had issues with these, they snapped off, and then I couldn't get the components out on that front, and I had to repair these ones over here, which are, if I remember correctly, yeah, these ones. I couldn't get the bloody component out; they wouldn't come out, which was a bloody annoying. So yeah, I've managed to put these in, but for some reason, even if I put a capacitor in, right, because it's going to be, what is that capacitor? Where's my glasses? Every third party controller is different. Yeah, that's the source, that's why they, yeah, I think that's probably why they made them, because I think they've deliberately done it that way, where these can't be upgraded. That's probably why they've made, even though it's made by the same company, on that front. But I thought, oh, can I put LEDs? There's no power. So straight away, this one's got the thing missing up here. And I did measure, this corner has got 5 volts. This bottom end is the earth. So that's alive and that's an earth. But the trouble is, this one on here, which is the Afterglow, it's identical. I can see why they've put that in. So it bridges, but this is obviously a programmer for that microcontroller chip, which is up here. So that tells the chip when I push this button to switch the LEDs on and off. That's probably the reasons why I'm not getting voltage all the way round. So there is some difference. Does the Afterglow have full RGB? Yeah, it has. Yeah, it's got full RGB. So that's what I think that's what that chip does. That microcontroller chip, this one up here, I think that also talks to this big chip, why it's got this silicon all over it, but obviously this is missing, and we've got a capacitor missing over here as well. There's a cap missing. So yeah, I think that is why. I was just going to check to see if I could put a capacitor over. Would that put voltage around this side of the board? Which I was just going to have a look to see what cap it is, because I've got capacitors. Let me write that down. That's 47 UF, right? Where's me pen? Can't do nothing with it. So it's 47 UF. And this one is, what is it, 16 volt? 16 volt. Let me have a look, see if I've got any 1647s on that front. Because what I might be able to do is, if I might be able to put a capacitor over this side. I think it's the same one. It looks like they've used the same. You know, it's missing, or is it just not used? It's just not used. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to get voltage to go round the other side of the board, because it's only going so far and it's stopping. The voltage is not going up. I checked the components. Components are fine, but I think it's part of that controller. This is not helping because I'm having the same problem the other side. So I just want to double check to make sure. Now this one has got. Now this one's different to this one. This is a 22 UF. So what's on these then? These are a 10 UF. I've got different voltages on this bloody thing. So 25 volts. We've got 3 different things on here. So let me write that down. So I don't need that, right? Because that's the wrong one. I don't need that there. So the one I actually need then is a 10 UF. Need a 10 UF. And what is that? A 22 volt? 25 volt. That's probably why it's not pushing power to the rest of the board, because the caps are missing. Obviously this is an aftermarket one, and I want to see if I can actually find where's my box of caps. Let me have a look, see if my box of capacitors. I might be able to push a capacitor around. Now I've got these cheap fucking is it me, or does the D3 look burnt under it? Yeah, actually, let me have a quick look. I'm just hoping that there ain't got no blown components under these. It's working. It is working. I know what you mean. Yeah, I was just looking at that myself. I was a little bit concerned to see if there was, you know, these components ain't shorted out. Guys, so right, let me have a look. What do we need? 10 UF. Let's see if I've got a 10 UF. Yeah, we are. I've got a 10 UF, 25 volt. Yeah, I have got one. There's one in there. Go back to D3 and look under it. Yeah, I'm just going to have a look at that. D3. I can have a look. There's D1, D2. Let me have a look at D3. Where's D3? I just see that a minute ago. Here's D3. It's over here. I think it's just yellowing on there, Pico. Right up on there. I can test it because it's obviously a diode. D's for a diode. Let me put it in diode mode, right? And I'll just double check it. I'll pull it on an earth, one side, on the earth side. This is plugged in, right? And then I'm going to probe it under D3 and have a quick look. Well, it's not reading on one side, right? So I you know, but if I swap it round and actually put the red at the top and then at the bottom, I'll get a reading. But not a great reading. Right? Well, it did do, not anymore. No, there you go. No. The power's reading is fluctuating, but it's reading 0.43, which is probably around about right for what that is. I can actually look at another diode because we got quite a few of these diodes. Because this one on here it's got the line at the bottom, so I assume that's the earth point to that. There's another diode over here. Let me probe this one and see what this one's reading. This is going to be, what's this, D2. Well, that's actually reading 0067. So this is a little bit down on the diode, but it's near enough. But remember, it was reading in circuit. Yeah, it's 0. The power's fluctuating. Yeah, 0.47. Yeah, test it in diode mode and not plugged in. Yeah, actually, let me unplug it. Because obviously it's running in there. Yeah, it is a little bit down on the power. Right, now it's unplugged. It's not plugged in. I've got it in diode mode. 0.68. Right, 0.068. That's not reading 0.68. It's actually reading 0.039. Yeah, that's not great. Yeah, I've got to admit, that's obviously, yeah, reading one way or both ways. No, it only reads one way. No, that's reading both ways. Oh, we could have a problem here then. Let me switch that round. That's reading both ways. No, this one's reading both ways as well. 0.67. It's actually reading both ways. 0.39. But if I got it, because that's obviously the line there is the negative side to the leg. Yeah, 0.040 on that front when I read that. This one over this side, right next to the rumble motor, it reads a higher reading, 0.068. So it's a little bit down on resistance. Is that because there's a capacitor on one side of this, which is here. So we've got a capacitor here. It's obviously pushing the rest of that information to make that reading on that diode a little bit higher. Because this side, it hasn't got a capacitor, so that probably would make sense. So I'm not sure. Obviously, it's out of circuit. Well, what I could do is bung in. I've looked on the Afterglow one, and it is 10 UF 25 volt. Well, I've got a 10 UF 25 volt, so I could sling in a 10 UF 25 volt. Bung it in and see what happens. Where is it? I did have it. It's 10 UF 25s. Yeah, they're over here. There's 30 of them. That's them. These ain't great, but what I could do, where's my little multimeter for a minute? I mean, like, take out that diode in circuit and then test it and it'll tell you if it's, I could do, that's a good shout. Yeah, and that's one way of telling if that, because it's reading in circuit. Let me read these cheap Chinesium caps, because some of these ain't been great. I didn't have time to do this yesterday because I had other jobs to do. So I wanted to get back on this and sort this out. I mean, that is working. Now the long size is positive and the Let me have a read. Capacitor's reading at 10.6 UF and ESR reading is 6.1. That's actually not bad. So what I'm going to do, they're great little meters and you don't rate them. I think they're alright. I think they're actually quite cool. So, oh kids, someone's playing up there now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to solder this in, right, put that in that side, bend that over, which would be about there, and I'm going to solder that over just for a minute, and then I'm going to see if there's any issues with that voltage. Where is it? No, wrong one. Yeah, see what the issue is with that controller is first. Well, I want to test the rumble motors, but I'm going to solder the legs in on this one. I've copied what that other one is because there's all different caps. The other one's a 10 UF 25 volt. That's just what I've put in. So I'm going to bung this cap in to see if it's got any voltage over to this side. It was completely dead. It could be because the voltage is right. To turn the temperature down, it's going black. That means you've got the temperature up too high. If it starts going black, you've got your temps up too high. Hopefully that'll do. Yeah, so you he didn't challenge me on that, Pico. He only looked at the box. He said, "Have you got that box? That looks like a large box." I said, "No, it's a medium box." He had to come out and double check. He measured it up. He went, "No, you're okay." I went, "Yeah, I've already done my bloody homework. I'm not gonna. I'm not getting out of it for not paying." Right, let me snip these legs off. And I want to have a look over. Yeah, what's the issue with that control? The issue was on here. The terminal snapped off from the thing. I was using it. It wasn't soldered on great. But then I looked at the afterglow because I repaired this one. I bought this one for £2.50 and £2.50 for shipping. So I got it for a £5. And what I had to do, because you can't buy the wire, not this specific one. They had others, but a little bit. The wire diagram was different on the board, which I ran into. So what I've done, I drilled it out carefully with my drill, snipped it all out, threaded the wires back through, snipped it with where the coil goes, because there was a coil, like a coil wrapped around it, cut it from where the coil is, and then heat shrunk it, and then resoldered it back to the original point of the board, and got this one up and running, and it works beautiful. Now, it looks stock. And I didn't even have to glue it. I've drilled that just enough so it was a little bit snug. So, once upon a time I couldn't do that. I just couldn't do them because they're really fiddly. Really fiddly. So, I want to put this and that, test this to see if there's voltage around this side. Because there wasn't getting no voltages around this side for the board. And I don't know why. So, it's a 10 UF, 25 volt. Pico, hey, PC board be repair, how you doing? Put them caps in backwards, Mick. I think I was just looking at that. Do you know what? I was a bit concerned. I've just been looking at the caps. I think I have put that in backwards. I think I have. I'm gonna have to take it out. I've just double checking. I didn't want to switch it on. I think you're right. I've put the long leg Damn it. Good spotted, sir. Well, that one's out. I think that one's out. Yeah, yeah. I was actually seeing. I was waiting to see smoke. What, a bit like Mr. Swindon's the other day. Guys, did you see that? Otcal's clipped it on that front. You couldn't make that up. Yeah, I was in the kitchen, so yeah, I was just popping in. I've got it saved on the computer. Ow. Yeah, I might have to grab another one. This one's buggered. There you go. Yeah, I'll put another one in. I won't use that cap. Yeah, why? What happened? I'll show you. You ain't seen it. I've got it saved on the computer. Watch this. This is what happened live when Mr. Swindon was mucking around with a Segway, right? Please don't muck about with Segways because they are extremely dangerous.
It's a motor issue. Oh, they switched wires. It's going crazy.
Yeah. Yes. So that's what actually happened live yesterday afternoon on that front. Yeah, exactly. And he put a nasty burn right across his palm. It was blistered all round here. What it was, I actually did say in this stream, and I think Mr. Pico was in, I did. And because they got known for issues, they always end up having, what it was, the motor, they got pressure points, and also they segregate, right? The segways, that's why they do it. So that's what happened to his hand. Yeah, that's why he done it. What it was, we actually said in the stream, just take the motor out and swap the motor around to see if the problem exists on the other side. Oh, actually, yeah, I was the Litmo pack caught fire. Yeah, exactly. And what actually happened, some of them in the chat, and this is the trouble, right? You're listening to so many different advices. A lot of them were saying, no, you don't have to do that. Just grab a bit of wire and bridge it over and disconnect the other one, right? Now, the wire that he was actually using was something like this thickness gauge. But what he should have been using was something like double, like a small finger, like half a pinky. If I can find the wire, he was supposed to use something really heavy duty to carry the amps over. So what he was doing, he went from going 35 volts to 40 volts, down to a small wire, back up to a big wire. Hey, Pico, how you doing, my friend? And that's how it caught fire. Obviously, it worked for a short while, but now the voltage couldn't get through properly. The wire got hot, caught a light. Bang. Yeah. He was lucky that battery didn't go bang live. That battery was wire direct. That really packs a punch. So that's how it caught fire. So what he should have done really was stuck to the original thing, was take the motor out, swap it round to see if it was. Alright, it would have took longer, but it's a proper way of doing it, and he wouldn't have had a fire on his hand, and he nearly, if that battery, yeah, so it was a wire that burnt. Yeah, the wire that he was using couldn't carry the amps over, and if the wire got red hot, melted, caught fire. Yeah, that pack did not go up. Yeah, he's lucky. Yeah, he's very, very lucky that cap, the battery pack didn't go bang, because what that could have done that voltage he was trying to inject over to the other side, which he was trying to copy from over by restricting the wires restriction with the battery, with the voltage going round. That could have gone back to the battery. That could have overloaded the battery and gone bang. It would have been game over. Yeah, he's fucking lucky, yeah. It's not that. That battery would have killed him dead. He would have been seriously scarred for life. That. Yeah, I use 3 thin wires for that. Obviously, yeah, there you go. 36 to 48 volts, what these Segways uses. So basically, it's turned it into a toaster element. That's what he's done. Yeah, and that's a lot of volts going through. But that battery, it'd have been like a time bomb waiting to go bang. And you missed it. Well, it don't matter. You've seen that was the outcome of it. Otcals clipped it. Otcals, obviously, he was so lucky. And then he was moaning, his hand was burning. I said, for Christ's sake, Mr. Swindon, go and get some ice pack on your hands. Get some burn cream on. Yeah, go and watch it. It's yesterday's stream. It was the Segway. Yeah. I want to watch it now. Yeah, go and watch it. Yeah, it'd be entertaining. And then he said, I'm fine. I'm fine. He's a character. You can only say that it was only from Mr. Swindon's stream. Right, let me, it'll go on for a bit. Yeah, for sure. It will go on for a bit. Just look for the Segway, right? That bloody hoverboard thing that he was mucking about on. If you've gone past it and he's on another object, you've gone too far ahead. That was live on the stream yesterday. Do you know what? I'm glad he mentioned that, because I think I did put that cap the wrong way round. I looked, I thought, I think he's right, you know. Yeah, just be careful. You've got to, I'm not being funny. If you're mucking around with high voltages, even, alright, any voltage really, right, if you don't know what you're doing, I think what a lot of these streamers should be putting up, including myself, yeah, no one was watching, I guess. No. Yeah, everyone was watching. He had about 74 people watching him. And it was live on the stream. You just see the outcome of it. That was about the clip. That was the full clip. Otcals clips. He got it, the board. It was on fire. You could actually see it was actually on fire. There was literally... It weren't burning. It was actually on fire. But he couldn't fix it. But lucky enough, he didn't... yeah, I was in the kitchen making coffee. When Mick was doing caps. Yeah, but I am listening to the old guy. No one was listening to. Well, this is what actually happens, isn't it? I mean, all I say is there's a lesson to be learned there on that front. Yeah, the highest electric shock I received many years ago was 240 at 30. Oh my God, Aaron, fucking Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, mucking around with voltages. I think really, because Russ was trying to learn schematics. Yeah, PC board. I think more of you like to deliver a message. I think, yeah, right. Yeah, it's in chat. Look, I know it's entertaining for us guys to watch, right? But I think what you should be putting out is disclaimers, because I'm not being funny, right? This is how channels can get taken down. It's all good and well. It's all well and good to watch other people learn from their mistakes, thinking, "Well, I'm not going to fucking do that." At the end of the day, but what you don't want is that can scar someone if someone seriously gets hurt live on stream. Because if that battery would have exploded in Mr. Swindon's face, I wouldn't be able to got that image out of my head. I don't think I could ever watch another live stream again, and that was a wake-up call on that front. Totally, I mean, it really was a wake-up call. It really, seriously, I had visions. It was a bit like, who was the, if Stu is in, he knows, who deals with the amps, with the amplifiers? Is it Simple Tech? Simple Tech was another one I watched live on stream. Yeah, I don't want to say it's like, yeah, it's like I said, it's how you deliver your message. I think you're right. Yeah, I couldn't watch, yeah, I could watch it, but it would bother me. Yeah, I totally agree. But Simple Tech was another one. He was doing a live stream, and I kid you not, I was bricking it, watching his stream. In the end, I had to turn it off. You should have had, if you're mucking around with high voltages, look, grab one of these, right? These only cost about £10, even less than that, right? You can buy them from as little as a couple of quid. This is a voltage, this is a digital capacitor discharger, right? I think sometimes you actually get distracted in live streams, so yeah, you lose focuses and makes it easy to make. I totally agree. Yes, and that is a very good question, Mr. Pico. You can definitely get distracted, and you forget what, because you're not concentrating, because you're trying to engage and you're doing something live at the same time. So yeah, it delivers a message. Them caps were, no, I did. That cap was in backwards. I'm glad I didn't plug it in. Do you know the most powerful explosion is obviously it's like an A bomb or H bomb, but an emitter. Yeah, I suppose it would do. I mean, everything's on there. So yeah, so it was delivered the message that it was in backwards. So it was a very good. I would have double checked it, but yeah, good observe. This is why it's best to have other eyes watching what you're doing, because you're thinking, oh, hang on a minute. I'm not an expert. Trust me, I'm not an expert. I've still got a long way to go. I'm not an ace. None of us are like Ace. Ace knows what he's doing. Yeah, raw lithium, air, and water don't mix. I bought one of these, right? This is a digital capacitor discharger, right? I think I paid about £12 for this. I didn't pay a lot. Like, I got it off AliExpress. You can probably get them cheaper than that. Yeah, just 1 kilo of emitter can actually cause amazing destruction. That's shocking. That's absolutely shocking. Right, Simple Tech, right? On his live stream, I kid you not, what he was mucking around in. He was mucking around with an amplifier that was worth about £10,000, right? It's very expensive. Hold up, there's someone at my door. Not my door. Oh, hold up, that's a delivery. Oh, that's my other item that I was waiting for. And yeah, don't do that. Yeah, you don't need one. And the downside, what Simple Tech was doing, he had this amplifier and he had a massive transformer. This transformer was like that. It was obviously massive, this thing. Yeah, lithium batteries in type of everything. And what did Simple Tech do? He didn't have one of these tools, right? Now, we've all got one, right? Have you ever heard of the Violent Wand mic? It can actually deliver the hell of a shock. No, I haven't. No, I've not heard of that. A violent wand. I can Google it and find out. On that, why is it super dangerous? And it sounds it violent straight away. You said violent wand. Don't sound great. It sounds something like it delivers a shock out of hell. We can all know. I think the name's in the title there. Instead of eating oops. But yeah, Simple Tech didn't have one of these. One of the capacitors he was touching live on stream, right? It was plugged in. 240 volts was going in. He had, I kid you not, he didn't have no gloves on. He was touching this capacitor. Once he turned it off, it had 140 volts in one cap. These caps are that big. It's 400 VDC. Oh bloody Nora! So that pack a punch. That's something you don't really want to muck about with. Not at that type of voltage. Oh God, that'll kill. That'll hurt. That'll seriously hurt, or that could seriously like stop your heart. Yeah. To be fair, Simple Tech is fully qualified engineer. Yeah, but what Pico done it right? Simple Tech is, like I said, he's a very, very knowledgeable person, knows about hi-fis, but then he should have had one of these, because he was doing it by hand, and he's virtually touching that capacitor. And his hands was inches away from touching that capacitor. Yeah. Especially direct current. Aaron, yeah, vintage valve tubes, obviously radio contains that. It's about 600 VDC. It's going through them. Bloody Nora. Obviously they are. I've got a record player in it. It's got a valve in it. I suppose in valves they contain high voltage as well. Have you ever seen the video of the elephant burning? Oh no, I can't watch anything like that. That I can't. Seriously, this is why I also turned vegetarian. I watched a documentary. It put me on for meat. I couldn't watch it. It made me sick. Yeah, and it's an elephant burning when you're actually about to AC or DC for the first power system. No, I can't watch anything like that, guys. My brain just absorbs like things like sponges, and I don't want to implant anything like injury to animals or anything like that. To be honest, I couldn't do it. But I'll have to put another one of these bloody capacitors in. Why not use the violent wand when people are with pacemakers and nerve damage, with heart conditions, with electrical imbalances, egg implants, unless you want to kill them. Yeah, exactly, yeah. You've got to be careful. All I'm saying is there's lessons to be learned by watching others. But when it comes to high voltages like that, I wish people would take a little bit more caution to actually say, no, stop what you're doing. You're gonna hurt yourself. Yes, US Stair Fates is the Edison, and the burned an elephant with DC voltage. Hence, AC is safer. But why? I suppose because alternating current. Yeah, because hence alternating current is a waveform, isn't it? Alternating current, and direct current is a line, a straight line, so it won't let go. Which an alternating current, it breaks, so it'll go spike and then drop, and then spike and then drop. So that's probably why a lot of us use alternating current in stuff. Yeah, CRT's 25k. Yeah, the on and off. Yeah, I think it is. It is. I'm pretty sure it is. It sounds about Mr. Pico. He's more of an expert on that. I'm not, but it does sound about right. AC and DC, there's frequencies in them as well. As for what I was trying to learn, and one's a higher frequency which has got more current that it draws through. Obviously, the UK, we're the only nation that bloody use 240 volts. Everyone else uses 110. Why do we use a 240 in the UK? It's a lot of wasted energy. Yeah, not always, Mick. Sometimes AC can actually cause you not to let... Can it? Oh, right. Oh, bloody hell. I thought the idea with DC and AC, DC won't let go, AC will let you go. It will pulsate. It will get pulses going through it. We went with AC, transformers only. Yeah, but as I said, UK, we don't need 240 volts. All our appliances doesn't need that. That's the idea of a transformer governing. We really, to be honest, I think the UK really needs to shape up what we use in voltages. Yeah, I've learnt from my granddad, over the years, development and learning further. So I've learnt the old school electronic engineers, these experiences, up to the modern times. Because that's right. Because like you said, that's what happened to me, Mick. I couldn't let go. Wow. Until someone mentioned to force myself to let it go. Bloody hell, that's shocking. 240 is more efficient. To be honest, Pico, again, no one else uses. I don't know what other nation uses 240 volts. Why we don't need 240. A lot of our products are not even 110 on that. So and it hurts. Bloody hell. I've not experienced that, But yeah, many use for 240s. I didn't think they would actually use it. Memorials of my stories to listen to the old timers, obviously because they've been there and yeah, you're right. Well, there's plenty of old sayings on that, Mr. Pico. You know, the younger generation don't know nothing, but listen to the morals of your ancestors, because obviously they've been there, done it, and worn a t-shirt, which makes sense. It really does on it. But yeah, let me grab another 240. Did you know, Mick? When electricity was first introduced into homes, all electrical appliances were powered from it. Yes, I have heard that. They actually plugged it into the wire. That must have been going back to the early 1900s when the electricity was just coming in with the Industrial Revolution. Things started to get moving within the last 100 years. You're right, it did. They used to plug it straight into the socket for your the thing. Yeah, that actually was first. Yeah, that was Andy. Attracted fast. That was good for him. Yep, that is it, mate. Oh, yeah, you're right, 100%. I have heard that because I do love watching old documentaries like that when I get time to watch them. Now, I did put this in wrong. So what I should have put, yeah, of course, like your lighting circuit is obviously to only handle 3 amps and not 13 amps. Yeah, exactly. I think that's it. Like for the first electricities, I lived in the city. I googled it. You're 100% right. I mean, it's a prime example. Now this one, I put the leg round the wrong way round. Stratton what? Stratton. What's the electricity city? Yeah, I did put this round the wrong way. That was very good observant. What I should have done, the short leg is the negative, long leg is live. So I did put this round the wrong way. I'm glad you guys mentioned that, because that is the idea of that line, so it blends in. So, and I'll put it under the scope and you can actually see that I've now done it correctly. I'm glad I didn't plug that in, because that would have blown something on the board on that front. So now, obviously, guys can see. I've now put it round the right side of the leg, which is great, which, you know, I think thank God for that I did. Yeah, good advice on that front. Also, electrical voltage obviously is standardised at 230 VAC in the UK, but different towards towns and cities, I suppose. Yeah, you're right, it is. So I've had to make sure that your appliances can handle the voltage in your area. Yeah, thanks for saying about that accident, Andy. Yeah, that's all right. But there's a lesson to be learnt there. But Mr. Swindon just shrugged it off, but his instincts kicked in. But that could have gone horribly wrong live on stream, and he had nearly 74 people watching him. It's a big stream. He had a lot of people watching. I would have told you, Mick. But obviously, I was making a cup of coffee, but I was getting a cinnamon bun for the kitchen. Oh, that's all right. I didn't plug it in, but someone was watching out, so it doesn't matter. You know what it is? What did you say a few minutes ago about being distracted and not concentrating of what you're doing? This is a prime example. I think Mr. Swindon done the same thing. Was engaging, listening to other people, giving the wrong advice, thinking it was the correct advice, and then caught it on fire, literally, and burnt yourself in the process. You know, yeah, you've got to be so careful. Yeah, seeing it in his eyes today, obviously, at the start, I thought it was wrong, but I thought it was his car. No. Yeah, I could say the word sandwich because he's Adam. So you're right there. You're all right there, Mr. Pico. He ain't got none. He's had his sarnies, mate. I'll tell you. Right, so now I've got it the correct way now. Not the bloody wrong way that I managed to put it at. What, the word banana? Yeah, you watched the streaming for about 5 minutes. As homes obviously like elderly electricities, like they obviously consumer boards. But yeah, but like you said, because there was like flammable material like paper and cardboard. That is true, yeah, they did. I think they did use something like that. Yeah, so you can say the word Bronson then, yes, 100%. 50 volts, bloody hell. Is that what it was, 50 volts? That's unbelievable. Right, let me do this one again, right? Now the legs around the correct way, I won't have the issue of, yeah, it seems high. Mick, is that cat right? Well, I've copied it off the other one because they've all got different voltages on the board, right? This one's got a 22 16 volt, right? This one there, let me double check before I put this in. That's a good shout. This one on here is using 16 volts at 22 UF. This one on here is using 47 UF, 16 volts. And this cap that I've put on is no, that's a 50. No, that's not the right one. No, it's supposed to be a 10. Oh, for bloody hell! No, it's a 10. No, that's the wrong cap. I need a 10. I need a 25 volt. Where was it? What was it? I wrote it down. I need a 10 UF 25 volt. I'm glad you mentioned that. It bloody was right. Seems a bit high, that cap. D3 is obviously across that board. The motor is probably what's getting wired from reading. Disconnect one side of that motor and the D3 should light up 50 volts. I was referring to that cap. No, the cap's wrong. The PC board, that's not the right cap. The one that I took off from the other side was a 10 UF 25 volts. Which I was just looking. I thought I did have some 10 UFs 25s. I have, but they're mixed. They're all mixed up in here. Which, oh, for crying out loud! Let me double check to make sure I've got the right one. No, they're 50s. I can't use them. Idiot! Even think that I need a cap. I think if there's there, Mick, there was one in there originally. I think there was. Let me double check because I know I've got some 10 UFs at 25s. These are 50s. They've all been mixed up. I didn't put 50s in. The 10 UF ones are supposed to be over here for some reason. Here we go. Got one. 10 UF 25. They've been mixed up. Yeah, that's obviously it's just marked up in a different model. Let me put the ESR meter on and double check because you guys can actually get to see. Right. I'm going to put it on. So what is it? The negative, it doesn't matter because it don't really matter these ESR meters. You can put them any direction. No, Mick, that cap was never there. So I think that was obviously marked on that board because obviously it's the same board as different models. So what, it wasn't designed for it? Yeah, that's better, 10 UF. What I was trying to do is, I was actually trying to put voltage around the other side of the board. So this is what I was trying to say earlier on, right? If you look on there, and I'll show you, I've got the cap there. Yeah, that was a 50 volt cap, that was no good. Right, so I'll fix the wires for these. They're all done, right? Zoom it in. So they're all now fixed. Now I've got a cap here, and there's a cap over here, right? which puts voltage. I'll get voltages. There's a switch missing, which on this model, even though it's made by the same company, it's a 10 microfarad, Mick. Yeah, I've got a 10 microfarad one, right? So I've got voltages going up to here. These points here, right, on the other board, I've got voltages here and voltage here, right? I've got voltage also here and here, right? But I haven't got voltages here. I've got voltage here, but I've got no voltages up here because the cap's missing. It's not putting voltage round. This is what I was saying earlier on. When I looked, right, if you look on the other one, you have a look in there. This is the afterglow, but made by the same company, right? So if I zoom it in so you can actually see it. So if you have a look, you've got a capacitor here. There's the capacitor. So if you have a look, you can actually see because obviously I've got the thing. See the solder blobs? Because they've got LEDs on the other side. Now if you go over, the switches here, but before they soldered them caps in the first place, there was no solder pads there. So obviously, yeah, it's never capped on there. So someone can look back on the stream to confirm if that's right. Yeah, they didn't. No, they didn't have. There was nothing on there, Pico. You're right, there wasn't. I just wanted to see why I'm not getting voltage going right round the board when comparing. This one's got two capacitors. So we've got one cap here, which is this one. But if you have a look, there's oh, you're right. There ain't a cap up that end. So that cap's missing. Is that? No, there is a cap there. There is a cap. You can't see it. There you go. Here's the cap. There is a cap. 10 UF, 25 volt. Right? And it's made by the same company, PDP, which you can see it. So what I was going to do, for some reason, I'm not getting voltage up this board. Right? Well, it could be because the cap's missing. They wasn't the intent of doing it. Afterglow, yeah, is the LED clear controller, yeah. So basically, if I put that 25 volt 10 UF cap in, that should now give voltage to this side of the board. Hopefully, because one side's paralysed, it's not getting voltage right round the board. Well, it won't do because this cap's missing. No, that's what I thought. I thought it was for that. I thought it's not putting voltage right round the board because the cap's missing. Unless I'm doing it wrong. It's like you said. I wanted to see why they weren't getting voltage halfway round that board. Yeah, I thought that was. The capacitor will block the DC and pass it to AC, and it will not make voltage. Right. See, this is why I'm glad to ask you guys, because you are the experts, not me. I'm not the expert here, which I'm not. That's why it's all about me learning from you guys. I'd rather learn from you guys and obviously put it wiser to actually saying. So how would you get? So PC. So you're basically saying then, this board, obviously it's made by the same company, right? Now, if you look on the other side on here, these points, which you can see here, right? These are where the LEDs go, right? Were supposed to have gone at some point in their life, right? So you could have had them at there, but because if you look at this one, the afterglow, you can actually see where the LEDs are. It's placing the LEDs, and you can actually see the LEDs there, which I'll point it towards it, which is this one here. Mick, read it again carefully. Yep, no worries. So basically you're saying the capacitor blocks direct current and passes it alternating current, and they don't make voltage. Oh, Bronson's dropped one. Fuck, gee, I'm glad I got that window open. Hold up. He's definitely got a bad belly today. So yeah, so what does it actually? Yes, so yeah, I see the LED. So yeah, so if I wanted to copy So how would I get round this then? If I wanted to put custom LEDs onto the other machine, even though there's a button missing, right? I'm sure you could have bypassed that, done a bypass so that the LEDs constantly stay on. So there's got to be a way of putting the LED. Oh, that wire's come off, see? Because I've been lifting it, it's snapped off again. Yeah, Mick, the voltage is getting to the C40 on the board. Right, okay. What you're saying is if you put LEDs in there, will they not light? Well, they do, but only to the bottom half of the board. They're not getting voltage all the way up to the top. So they're not going all the way over. They're only going so far. But this side won't get voltage over because there's a capacitor missing. That's what I was going to put a cap in for. To see if that solved the problem. If I put that 10 UF cap in, would that give me voltage around this side of the board as well? But you're saying it won't because it turns DC into AC into DC or something like that. Because I can actually show you what I mean. The voltage will only go so far around the board. So if I come out of the browser, and I'll come out of it and I'll show you. Right. So if I I'll plug this in. If I take one of these LEDs, right? I'll take a blue LED because the blue one shines up. Is there a different switch for them? To be honest, there weren't no switch for them. That switch on there, all that switch gives me is that you can turn the LEDs on and off. That's all it does. So I think that's what that connection block was missing. Because when I plugged it in, I was using it last night when I was playing one of the PC games. I was watching Michael on his stream, and I went, oh, I want to have a go at that. Exactly, Pico. Yeah, there is a switch. Yeah, exactly, Pico. Yeah, some companies use PCBs, so there's obviously they are in places with more caps and resistors. However, they weren't always populated. No, you're right, there ain't. Is there a game or control? Is it a game control? Yeah, it is a game controller. I thought it was a tape deck when I saw it at the start. No, this is a games controller, my friend, which is this one here. Is the Rock Candy, but it's made by the same company, PDP, on that front. So where they didn't put all of the components, the custom one on this one here, because it is, even though it's made by the same company, this one's called Rock Candy, this one's called Afterglow, but the board layout is identical. It's literally identical. It's just that what they didn't do on here, they didn't cover it with LEDs, which this one they didn't populate on the board. So even though it's made by the same company and the board is identical, the components are missing. Aaron, in this case, I was never a cap. And Mick, yeah, I was trying to add a cap. I was trying to say that you don't need it as marked for different models, yeah, etc. Yeah, so the LEDs they don't work with the following wires. Obviously, you need to find a resistor and not populate it on the board. Yeah, you got it, Pico, mate. Yeah, I think that sounds about right. So I'll show you what actually happens if I plug this in, right? Now let me wire this in and I'll show you. I've already done one custom LED. Now we've got a pink light glowing, right? So these are standard 5 volts, right? Now I'll get voltage all the way around here. I'll get it here, but I will not get it here because there's a cap missing, right? But it won't go up. It won't crawl up the board. Yeah, sorry, Pico. Yeah, look, and I'll show you, right? So if I do. Where is it? This one here. So the top one is, I'm getting voltage around here, that capacitor, and it's lighting up blue, right? So that one's lighting up. Now I'll do this one. This one will light up. Well, it did do. No, it's not lighting up. This one won't light up. right? So there's no light up there. This one will light up because this is where the capacitor's missing. No, that light up there is obviously from the board, but I won't get it to this side because the cap's missing. Because I tried it. And that's where the power drops. No, there's no power. So I'll get it here. I'll have a look at your message. Give me a minute. No. So I'm not getting voltage up here as well. So there's voltages missing from this side. That's where it stops. So from here to here, the voltage stops. There's no voltage going around the rest to get it to. So is there any resistors not populated on that board? So follow the traces back. Yeah, that cap, Mick, looks like it's a filter. So obviously it don't give you voltage. Right, okay. So what I really need to do then, by the sound of it, is to put this in... I need to put voltage and see where the voltages are going and how far this goes up on the board. So if I put this actually on V, right, and alternate current. I want it AC, didn't I? I want it on AC. So it's in AC mode, right? Now, I can actually test this and see if I'll get any voltages on it. No, it'd be direct current. It won't be AC. Yeah, there you go. No, it never was meant to be on this controller. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it is. I think Mr. Pico's right. I think they've done the board, right? I think they've done the board where it wasn't meant to. And that's probably the reasons why I thought I could just put LEDs on. And you can't do that. I don't think they was designed to populate it, like you said, on that front. Yeah, direct current. I did have it on direct. I put it on AC and it wasn't connecting. Because look, I'm getting voltage here. And you'll see 4.9, right? If I go over to here, no voltage at all. Nothing. It's not. It's just not. If I go over to here, I get 3.3. If I go over to this one, where these LEDs are, nothing. It's just flashing. So, and again, 0. So there's no voltage. So the voltage drops between this point and this point. I am making sense to anyone else, or is it me? No, I totally agree with you, Mr. Pico. So I just thought that you could put that on there, but clearly you can't. I think what you're saying is this board was not meant to have the LEDs because they took bits out of the board to populate it. Even though it's made by the same company and it's got the exact same layout, they obviously done some alterations to it where it was not meant to be. And I'm thinking that's the point where you can't just put components on and put the LEDs on it. I mean, I could have two LEDs just lit up, but it ain't going to look right, you know. The idea of that LED is to light it all up. I thought that I could copy it, put it on there. But it's a learning curve. I thought... you need to find the missing parts. Yeah, because it's just obviously it's cutting out. Yeah, so if I could find the missing components, what's missing from that one, in theory, I could actually put this. I could light this up. You can find a board layout for that one, Mick, so you can compare the boards. There, I'm like I said, because this board is identical, but they've took components off it. So what I really need is to compare to see what's missing. Yeah, and it'll be a surface mount resistor. I bet it is, because the power is not getting past this point. It's just stopping. So I can put two LEDs in and it stops. If I try to put it on the rest of the other 6 ends, the power is not getting round. So even though it's an identical board and layout, the chances are, it's like you said, it's probably going to be a resistor and a capacitor, which I've already got. I've already got the capacitor, but it's probably going to be a resistor or a couple of resistors missing. What I could do is reopen this one up and go over the board to see what's actually missing. Or just compared to say that I've had something to compare to visual things. Yeah, if you get me. Yeah, you need to check. I could do that. Open this one back up, compare the boards to see what's actually missing from this side, because this board's identical. It's just that this one's in black, this one's in white, but it is literally identical. It's got the exact same layout on it. Yeah, is that the same board, Mick? I think it is. It looks it. It does look the same board. The only thing I can't see is that big chip, which I was trying to have a look earlier on. Or could there be traces missing? Unless this board is a different board revision. I don't know. We've got a board revision here. 1415. Let me check that for a minute. No, this is a different board. So this was a complete waste of bloody time. Look, I've just looked. You're right. You said, was this a board different revision? It is. So, no, it's a different revision. I'm just looking. There's numbers on here. We've got a board revision of 1415. And this board revision is a 94V0, so it's completely different now, so it won't be no good then anyway. Damn it. So yeah, guys, you were right. Yeah, it will still have like loads of LEDs in there. No, they have. I can put two in. It'll come straight on. Yeah, what brand is of that controller? That one, my friend, is a Rock Candy Xbox 360. It's a PL 3760, and this is a PL 3702. So it's slightly, yeah. Put two LEDs in to be kind, but it depends what happens. Yeah, no, it'll work, but I can only put two LEDs in. I can't put no more in. It won't work. There's no voltage going around the board. And I need to solder that wire back because it looks like it's bloody snapped again. I could put two LEDs in and it'll work straight off the bat. But I can't put any more in because the voltages are not getting round. And it won't make no difference if I put that 10 UF cap in. But, do you reckon that would? If I, them two LEDs, what do you reckon? What do you reckon if I put that 10 UF cap in? What do you reckon that would do? Do you reckon that would put extra voltage around this side to the board partly? Do you read voltages where you need? Yes, obviously if you need new LEDs. I mean, it's all a learning curve for me. I'd rather learn from it because that's the idea of me doing this at the end of it. I just find it fascinating thinking, you know, I thought this was an identical board layout. It is in a certain degree, but it's obviously no. Right, well, let's solve that problem. Thanks, guys. Pabs just said no. Right, don't put the cap in. Right, so I'll leave the cap out. Put the cap away. Because it might cause a problem further along down the line, which I don't want to. I'm not in it to try and, no, skip that fucking cap, Mick. No, put it aside. You know, I will. I'll put it back in the box. I think my best bet then, what I could just do is just put two blue LEDs in and be done with it. Put that. It's made me laugh. It's the way Pab says. Just says skip that effing cap. Just bung it back in a box. But yeah, I've done it. I've put it back in a box. I'll put what I'll do. I can actually put two blue LEDs into this. And then just be done with it that way. It will just be easier with the bottom part, or just not bother. Yeah, the best bet is stop talking and check. Yeah, it's to stop talking and check on that board. Right. So, but the trouble is, I don't know what I'm checking. What am I looking for? I mean, obviously it's plugged in. There's voltage going into it, or El Stevo says, the shredder. I totally agree. Bung it in the shredder. Let me have a drop of water. That's one thing Mr. PCD don't do enough. I notice when he does his streams. Yeah, follow them traces from that LED. I'm going to. Let me put it under the scope because you'll see it better, because you can't see it from here. So let me go from the bottom one then, and then I can go from, yeah, the cathode should be to ground. Right, so we need to, it's probably going to get, it goes to resistor. So, right, so if I look on this side, don't think it will tell you, but, so we got this one won't light up, which is this one up here. If for some reason it won't seem to light up. So you can actually just about make out on one of them legs. So one's going to be a ground leg, which you can see where the trace goes, and if I follow that up and then it goes to another point. So really all I need to do, measure them VAD across them 2 pins on the meter. I could put that on there and have a look. Because now, you know, because all I need to do is just get voltage to them LEDs, and that will put voltage all the way around that board. So there's voltage here. I've got voltage here, because 100%, because what's actually up this end? It's going to that. That's supposed to have been a capacitor. That is a capacitor end. So, like I said, that's a cap end. So it's in DC. Yeah, we're not getting no voltages up here. We're getting 5 volts from that cap. I'm getting exactly 5 volts from that capacitor where that cap goes. So if I measure it from there to there, I'm not getting nothing because there's no capacitor leading. That's what I was trying to say earlier on. If I put a cap in, would that put 5 volts up here? But you're telling me it won't. Now if I do the other side, right, where the cap's going, if I move it over and go to this side where the cap is, okay, it's not a resistor, right? Yeah, there's no resistors there, it's just a cap. There's the capacitor, there's a cap here. Let me measure the cap in DC mode. I'm getting 5 volts from that cap. Now if I measure from this point to this point up here, again, no voltages. We're not getting nothing. Nothing. Concentrating only on them LEDs, Mick. Yeah. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to have a look what's killing the power between this capacitor and this line up here, because one of them's going to be a ground pin, one's going to be a live pin, like the pin from it. So yeah, turn that board over. I think there's a cut between this pin and this pin up here. There's something not getting voltage around that side, which is going to be around here. Oh, I'm snapping the bloody wires off. Fuck's sake. Right. So, if I look up this end here, the LEDs, which they should be going into the hole, right? So, we've got a whole resistance up here. If I can find it, right? We put that underneath there. That can then concentrate a little bit. There's the holes where these actually go, and I'm not getting no voltage through these whatsoever. So something's killed the voltage between that cap. We've got voltage around this end, which that obviously around it. from the actual board switch itself. So obviously you can see where the cap's going, but there's nothing from this end. Do you think it could be this not getting voltage around here, or could it be because that resistor is missing? That could be another reason why the board's not getting voltage, because there's components missing. I'm just having a look on the other one to see if this board is actually the same layout. I think it's slightly different. No, it is. No, it's the die is slightly a little bit altered. I can see where that voltage goes now. I'm just having a look to see if there's any resistors there. We got a string of resistors where this one, see, all these resistors are on. That one's missing. So that's what I'm saying. There's a resistor missing off that straight away. Well, that's not going to put power. Is there power to that resistor? Let me check if there's a power to that resistor. Any voltage. Give me a minute, guys. We're off. Right, he's dropping some DVDs back to me. Mick, never heard of resistor. Had like a resistor bragging with a 470 ohm resistor would work, but check the working one is obviously the same. Yeah, I was just going to check that before that bloody phone rang. He's got to drop some bits back off. I just want to see if there's any voltage from that resistor while this is on. I need to put this, do I need to put this, I need to alter that because I need to put that in resistance mode, didn't I? Ohm's resistor, to see if that's actually bringing anything on it. And again, would there be any voltages going through that resistor? Because it's not showing up anything on that. Well, it's got 33. So what's that mean, R33? Would that actually be a 33k ohm resistor? Because if it is, I ain't got any. I ain't got any of them resistors that small. No voltage, because obviously it's like it's a kick-off low. Oh, like, so yeah, so yeah, and you can't bridge that at all. No, look at the working LED. Yeah, I was going to actually look at that. Hold up, guys. My mate's just turned up. Give me 1 minute. Bloody hell. I'm going to have a look at a working one. Every time I try and get something done, someone turns up. Bloody cursed. Right, I'm going to have to mute it. Give me 1 minute, guys.
Smoke time. on that front.
Sorry guys, that was my ex-boss on that front. So yes, let me have a quick look at that, which I was going to test that resistor on that front, because this is still plugged in. So basically, Mick, R is for resistor, and the 33 is just a number, right? Okay, on that front, or you can measure from ground to R33 points, and that will give you 5 volts. I was going to do that. Do I actually PC board here? What do I put that in on the meter? Do I put that in volts or in diode mode? Not diode mode, mega ohms. So I put it in ohms sort of mode to diagnose where that's going from. Oh, VDC, right? Okay, thank you, sir. VDC, which it's in millivolts on there, so it's looking from there. So I'll ground one port out, and I will go over to see on that resistor. You should click on the R. We'll touch the R. Yeah, you're right. It's coming up at 5 volts. That makes it interesting. So there is, well, it did do. Yeah, 4.9. Wow. Okay, I'm back. What did I miss? Just me mate. I mean, one of me pest control mate. My ex-boss turned up on that front. I have to do his films for him on a Friday, and he said West Ham's playing. He said wants to come over. He said if I give you a tenner, could I watch the West Ham game round here? Because obviously I'm not a sports person, but I've got a VPN, so I'm fine. That front. So yes, what PC Board was saying is put it in VDC mode, right? Ground one pin out from the ground, which is I was taking it from here, and then check the R33 on one side in VDC mode to see what voltage you're getting. I'm actually getting 4.9 coming out from that resistor. So from there to there, I'm actually getting 4.9 out. So yeah, you're right. That's probably why it can't feed voltages round the board, because the resistors. So yeah. So it's 5 VD. So I still can't do this thing because I haven't got resistors. I ain't got no resistors that small. I don't think I've even got one. You can port a 470 ohm resistor on R33. The voltage across the LED points, and that will give you your 5 volts the right way. Yeah, because obviously, like, you know, you're going to have but so really what I need to order then, I need to order some 470 ohm resistors, Actually, I don't think I've got... Let me have a look to see. I have got some resistors. Oh no, no, these are different type of resistors. I can't use these, can I? These type of resistors, which are these ones. I don't think I could use them. These are different type of resistors. Hey, Retro Warrior, thank you for how you been, my friend? Thank you for popping on. Yeah. What are these? These on here are. I've got 470 kΩ resistors, but these are obviously different type of resistors. If you look at these type of resistors, I can't use these. Yeah, you want some SMD ones. No, yeah, try those. They would work up to 1K. Yeah, they're too big. Yeah, I thought they did, because they're not the type of resistors that it's like Mr. Pico said, you need the SMD ones. And I haven't got none of the SMDs. None. That's probably why I can't put voltage around the board. Yeah, take it off a donor board. I don't think I've even got any on donors, to be honest. Would they actually be any... yeah, because obviously I didn't see what the message was, PCB. What have you not got any of the old balls you can use, Mick? I'll tell you what. Yeah, it's funny how Steve-O should say that. I've got some broken boards, right, of TVs and things. Let me have a look on them. Marked 471 for SMDs. Because I'll tell you what, if that's all that's missing off this board, resistors, that's not putting voltage around that board, then I could actually get the LEDs to light up all the way around it. That'd be cool if I could. Let me have a look on here. So I've got some broken stuff. So I'll tell you what, let me come out of this for a minute. Right, Neo Capture. Fucking wires. Do you know, it's my bane of existence. Yeah, that's why I keep old boards laying around, donor boards, Mick. Well, that's why I've got a couple. It's only too ill Steve-O mentioned it. Right? I have got bloody old boards in here. Look, I've got a couple. So I'm like you. I like to keep a couple of old boards around. Because I might be able to pinch resistors and things like that. Because these things have got like diodes. And these boards are all working. But these come off TV boards. On this front. Now this one on here. Now these have got capacitors. But I need resistors. This board might be alright. This ain't got, these are all bloody diodes on. This looks like a power board. But it is a power board. So I need one that's got resistors. This one's come off an hard drive. Look for the SMDs on the back, mark 471. Right, okay. Well, that's off an old hard drive. We got capacitors. Oh, we'll have a look on that one. And I'll have a look on that one. Right, let me put these back then. We got a couple there. Oh yeah, look, there's some more there. Looks like a little data board on that. I'll have a look on that. So now I know I'll look for 471 with the resistor. So it's like you said, it pays you to have, right? It does pay you to have some old boards laying around, right? Because it sort of makes sense. So if that's correct, what you're saying, PC board repair, is that if there's resistors missing, that can't put voltage around the board. Which, that's probably the only thing why it can't carry the 5 volts right round. And I said, there's got to be a reasons why on that front. Even though the other one is near enough, it's probably best to look on them old board 360 boards, Mick. Yeah, because obviously them controller boards that you've got, if you've got any of them, yeah, like you said, I can have a look. So I've got to look for R7. Oh God, I'm going to need my glass. Where's my goggles? I need to look for R70, 471s. So let me have a look for 471s resistors, because we got resistors on here. We've got R8. I can't even see that. I might have to put these under the scope. I'm not going to see them. Not even with these glasses. 471s. Let me have a look under the scope. Because this is not picking it up. No, I'll zoom in. That's not picking it up at all. Okay, you just can't see them in them glasses at all. It'd be easier to look under here. Because then I can, because the good thing is about scopes, they're really magnified and then you can have a good look. So there is resistors on this one. I mean, I've got a job to bloody see them, to be honest. Mick, don't read the bold markings. It's what's on the resistor. Right, my friend, thank you for pointing that out. So if it says on there, read the capacitance. So I still need my glasses. And I need to have a look. Their capacitors. Are there any on the other side of the board? Oh, we are. Resistor R47. Oh, no, you said 470, did you? That's an R47. That's a resistor, but that's a 47 ohm resistor, not a. What's below that board mix? So yeah, I can't use that, can I? It's too big. We need a smaller one. On that front. Yeah, you need to order, yeah, I need to order a lens now. I can't use that R47, can I? It's got to be 470. That's diodes. Yeah, no, look for 471. The trouble is, none of these are marked up. There are the capacitors. The trouble is, I can't read the markings on these. They're not reading. I can't see them on there. It's like Mr. Pico said, don't read off the board. But they got R for resistance, or 102s. Right, okay. Well, that's interesting. I'll put that to one side for a minute. Let me have a look at this side and go through some of them here. Well, we've got resistors. We've got hundreds. I found an R100. And you said a 102. Damn it. And there's a 100 right here. Right at the bottom. Which is this one here. That's an R100. There's another one there. Another one on R100. Right up this end. You got 472 there. Bloody hell, Pico. How did you pick that out? We got a 104. We got one, oh, there's a 102. We got a 102 there. I found a 102. Where's my bloody scope bit? A 471 is a 400. Yeah, 471. 10. Yeah, there is 101s on R55. Well, I found a 102, which is right here. Oh, that's a 103. Oh, they're 103s. Damn it. Here's a 102, which I'm pointing to, which is this one here. That's a 102. Pico said there was a 470. Fucking hell, how's he picked that up? We've got 103s, 101s. That is a 332. We've got another one there. 101. Yeah, to that right with the chip 55 is a 101. Yeah, there is loads of 101s. There's quite a few 101s on this board. So I could So that's 1,000 ohms for 102s. So I could actually, could I use that then? Because they're resistors. I can pinch them off that. Because this board was obviously off a Bluetooth speaker, but the Bluetooth speaker got demolished. So 100, no, oh right. So the 101 equals 100 ohms resistor, not 101. Right, okay. So hang on, because I'm confused. So so it's 102, yes. Right, I can take a 102 because I've got loads of 102s on here. There's a couple. Yeah, not 1,000. I've got a 101 and there's a 102. There's a couple of, yeah, there's a few of them 102s, which is one right here. That's a 102. So I can take these off and then you put these on the board. Yeah, take the 102s, you use that. All right, I'll better off hot airing him, right? I'll hot air them off. Put the small nozzle over and I'll take them off with a pair of tweezers. Good shout, though. Thanks, guys, because that really helps. That's why I'd rather. It's all about the learning. Oh God, it's all kicking off out there. So right, yeah, the 102 is 1,000 ohm resistor. Right, okay. So there must be a tolerance level for that. Now, I'll tell you what, I better put this on something because I know what's going to happen. Right, I'm going to lose these components. Yeah, Mick, 10, yeah, it is 10 and 2 zeros. Jesus, that's a big number, isn't it? I'm glad, I'll tell you what, it was only to you guys mentioning it. Have you got any old boards? And I went, yeah, I have, actually. Come to think about it. I'll take the 102s off. Mind you, saying that, I want my tweezers. You won't be able to do nothing without them. Hold up a minute, now I can't find my frigging tweezers. Right. That's probably why it's not getting voltage around that bloody board. Because the resistors are all missing from it. Because there's half the resistors missing from the board side. That'd be absolutely cool if I can get 5 volts all the way around that board. So they've done it then deliberately where you can't. That's the only thing that will happen. If I put resistors all the way around this board to get the 5 volts, the only downside is I won't be able to turn them, the LEDs on or off. They'll just be constantly on when I plug it in, which is not a problem because they're 5 volts anyway. Yeah, the two 102s are in parallel, equal to the 500 ohm resistor. Right, okay. So, again, they probably would put them, would make sense, you know, because they put them close together. I'm trying to look for my, I can't believe what's actually happened to me, my needle nose pliers for a minute. And again, let me, because the blind, for some reason, the winds blew the bloody blind, because it's getting dark, it's dark. Let me pull that window too, because the wind's, it's quite windy out here today. Oh, there you go. That's it, that's better. This is why everyone has donor boards, Mick. It's when you get components that you don't have in stock. Yeah, well, obviously I didn't have none, sir. So this is why I'm glad that some of the TVs that I had, the screens were smashed, but then the boards weren't no good. Oh, I've got to shut that window. It keeps blowing it wide open. That's it. I only left it open because Bronson kept dropping one, which didn't help. Right, now I've got my decent tweezers. Oh yeah, what have I got it on? 60%. $102. you go. Hot air is your best friend. I wish my bloody setup was a lot better. Fucking nightmare. Alert, Mick. Read what PCB said. Right. Hold up, because I'm trying to read messages. Right. Yeah, right. You will need to put that resistor and the LED on each point where you want them, obviously for a new mod. Right, okay. Yeah, I have taken all my old donor boards outside and just eat them up and blow off with the torches and shake the board and all the parts fall off. That's a good idea. What, and then keep the components, and that way you've got it all. Hey, look who it is. Squish, how you doing, my friend? Mr. Worms himself. Right. Now, right, that's cooling down. Right, now I've got to read what PC Boards just said. So I'll need to bring that board back over. Well, actually, where is it? Oh, it's over here. Right. Now I need to put that. Now that resistor. Now you're saying with that resistor's got to go around a certain way, innit? How would I know which way this goes round? So if I put it in ohms resistance, yeah, 993. That's actually that's a healthy resistor. Right, now I've got the right way. So this side is the plus. It is. Right. Now I know I now need to put that, the bottom part, yeah, no. The resistor can only go through the LEDs, polarity sensitive. Orientation doesn't matter, Mick. Right, okay. What, actually on the board? I thought the board did. I thought it had to go on a certain way. Because where I need to put that resistor, where is it? It's got to go over... Where is it? If I can find the point, it's got to go over here. LED only. Right, LED only. Yeah, because it's trying to pull voltage through, innit? It's got to put voltage through. No, a resistor can only... It can go anyway. Oh, right, I didn't know that. I'm just having a look to see where that line goes. Yeah, resistor doesn't have polarity. Right, okay. So I can see the trace line, right? Yeah, caps and diodes are transistors. Yes, you're right. So these can go around anyway then. So what I'm looking for on here, that polarity point, right? You see this one here? There's a very thin line from here to here, right? From this side to this side. It's a thin line. This is a ground, but this side feeds this side here. So if there was a resistor, that would pull power from this capacitor. Oh, from this, yeah, put that resistor on R32. I think I'm getting to know where this is going. So I now need to, I wonder if I can actually put that on. I mean, it's a tiny, tiny component though. It is very tiny. Right. Let me try and hold this on. I might need a little bit of flux to see if I can put some of this on. Yeah, so that way it'd be a long LED diode. Yeah, that's it. Good shout now, guys. I mean, I wouldn't have known this. Right, that side's on. It's a little bit hot, even at 370. I'll be back short, guys. I've got to nip out. No worries. See you in a bit, BrizTech. Right, I think that's on because I see it sizzling. I'll give it a wiggle test. Let me give that a little quick clean with IPA. I'm glad my IPA turned up today because I really needed that. But that's blacking. That indicates your iron's too hot. Epoxy things. Look, Rick, comments. Yeah, hang on, guys. Let me just give me a quick read, and I will read that. Well, you guys are more knowledgeable than me, so that resistor is now on, which you can now see. So let me read. PC ball repairs. So yeah, what you want the long wire on that LED diode. Right, thanks BrizTech. I will remember that front. The long diode. Well, the only downside is these diodes are already colour coded, right? Because they've got black and red. So how do I work that out? Because these ones have got light covered up. Measure that voltage of that LED, yeah. Yeah, because now, if you remember correctly, I weren't getting voltage there now. So let's plug her back in, right? And plug her back in now to see if I'm getting 5 volts. Because before, I got no 5 volts on that line. If you remember correctly, it was completely shorted out. I'm going to ground one leg to the earth. And then I'm going to test the diode to see if we get 5 volts. We get 4.9. Which I didn't get there before. Good shout, PC Ball Repair, my friend. We're now getting 5 volts up this end. Now, am I getting 5 volts up here? No, we're not. Because again, resistors are missing. Damn it. We've got more resistors missing. So you could be... Yeah, so... Now we've got this one up here didn't have resistance, but now well I didn't have voltage, but now I've got 4.9 on that point, which I didn't have before. Mick, make that leg on that LED, on that LED, on that anode short leg. That is obviously the cathode leg, right? Okay. The only downside is, they've put heat shrinks on these, right? And then they've colour coded them because you've just got wires coming out. Yeah, one resistor on that LED side you have, put it on. The only thing is they put bloody heat shrinks on. So how would I know what's what? I think what I need to do is... I'm pretty sure that would now be, if I remember, that would be red and the other side will be earth because it's got black and red. Underneath that heat sink. Oh, underneath the heat sink. Heat sink? What heat sink? Sorry guys. That resistor underneath that heat sink. No, I'm confused. Sorry guys, it's Mick, PCB is trying to say for each LED you need to add a resistor. Right, okay. I understand that part, sir, 100%. But I'm trying to look for the heatsink. Yeah, the heatsink of that LED. I didn't even know there was an heatsink on there. I didn't see any heatsinks. Unless I'm missing, I must be missing something. This is why I remember, no, that LED you have on that the heat shrink. I thought you said heat shrink, and I thought, what is it on the board? No, the shrink, sorry guys, I think you meant on here, the diode itself. You've got to understand, my brain comprehends. I don't talk electronic, I talk simple terms. If you'd have just said take the heat shrink off, if you'd take that black stuff off the diodes, then I would have understood. Right, I know what you mean now. I'm looking on the bloody board. I'm going, where is it? I can't see it on the board. Right, let me take that off. I'll see where you're going with this. So I need me scalpel. This is why Mr. Pico puts things in much simpler terms for me so I can understand. Told you, I'm not an expert. I'm not. Mind you saying that, I could even do once apologise. Oh yeah, there is a resistor on the LEDs. Yeah, I think there is. I think they did put one on there. I can see it. It's bulged. Look, you can actually see that there's a bulge on it. Look, right there. They've put and that's on the red leg. So they've actually put it on there. There is a resistor on them LEDs. So they've put a resistor actually on the leg itself. Because the other side is the negative. So you can see, well, they've colour coded it and done it for me already. But it don't matter. So have I still got to take that off? Or can I leave that on? I only wanted to see if this worked. See if I get me 5 volts. Does it light up? It should do. No. No, leave it on, Mick. Yeah, it's not lighting up now. It's the only thing. I'm getting 5 volts there now. But it's not lighting up. Got power in it. Is that LEDs you're actually using? So if so, change the R33 to a 0 ohm resistor instead of 102. That R33. What? Change it. Take it off and put a 0 one on. PCB. So I've got to look for now. I've got to need to. If so, yeah. Is that an LED? Yeah. Obviously, I don't know. I mean, obviously, yeah. These ones have obviously got like they look like they've got a diode on them. Like they've got something. They've got like a resist. I need to take that off. Yeah. Yeah. The jump on 33. Yeah, because I'm thinking that's what's doing it. I'm thinking. Yeah, because they're not lighting up. Yeah, light the blue one up. Now there's a lot of 0 ohm resistors on them boards. You've got about 202 from. Yeah, I think I did. I did see some 0. So what? I need to change it now. Take off the R33. Right. Okay. Let me take that R33 off. Yeah. Yeah. You don't get that. You don't get me. No, you don't get me. Right. No, I don't talk your terms. Sorry, my friend. My brain don't comprehend it like everyone else's because I struggle. Because that's just the way. Yeah. Yeah, just use a jumper to go across them R33s. Thank you, Pico. Because obviously I'm going to get confused. And let me take that resistor back off. But there was 5 volts getting to that. You're right. There you go. Right, and then what you're basically saying, bridge it, and that should give you a 5 volts. Jumper wire. Most of them LEDs that you have, obviously it's got a resistor soldered in it. Yeah, they have. Yeah, the resistor on these LEDs have already got resistors on them. Yeah, so you don't need to have a resistor on that line. So yeah, you're going to need LEDs obviously for jumper into. So yeah, so from that point, from that R33, which I just took off, all I need to do then is what you're basically saying, just bridge it. And that will give you 5 volts straight to that line. Because they've already got a resistor built on these. Because you can see the resistor. Not everyone will have those LEDs you have. No, clearly not. Yeah, jump it with solder. Okay, that I can do. Yeah, because I've got loads of them. Look, I've got a pack of them. I bought them. These were 5 volts and they've all got resistors on them. Every single one. And they're all 5 volts. Yeah. Alright. I'll bridge that. It does sort of make sense to what you're saying. And then that way, the LED mod. Yeah, I'm trying, Worms. Let's see if I am going to try to do an LED mod on it. I didn't have time yesterday because I wanted to. Why Mr. Pico was going, what's up with this? Why is this working? Is this stuff all freezing up or something? There you go, it's bridged over. Yeah, you'll need, right. You'll need a 420. Right, Mick. I don't mean this in a bad way, but PC board that you have explaining things to Mick. It's like me explaining to a child because obviously his conditions. Yeah, that's what I struggle from. Pico knows. Pico knows. It might help to actually get messages across from PC board repair. Thank you, Pico. You understand, sir. Totally agree. And guys, you're not going to offend me. I'm a Gen X. I come from a region where, and you know, words don't mean nothing. I don't take offence. So no, if you're going to offend, it won't. Sticks. There's an old saying in my saying, sticks and stones. It's just words. They don't mean nothing. I ain't going to take nothing from it. So don't worry. Alert. Frozen cam. Yeah, you have. Thank you, guys. Fucking cam's frozen. How am I not surprised there? Hold up. What? Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no. We've got a problem. Houston, everything's shorted out. What? Oh. Right. That 420 post is made. Right. Hold up. Because now I've got no mouse. Let me unplug this for a minute. All I've done was bloody bridged it. No, there's nothing working. Oh no. Oh no. It's an oh no moment. Totally agree with you there, Worms. All I've done was bloody bridge the port. No, nothing's working now. Oh, for crying out loud. Fuck it, that's it. It's killed everything. You're thinking, oh, for crying out loud. Right, let me see if I can plug the mouse in at least. Right, I don't know why, but no, that's not working. No, this ain't working, guys. This is not good. No, it's too much flux. No, all I've done was bridge R33 and it all cut out. Now I've got no mouse. None of my stuff's working. Oops. Mind you, it was plugged in. Reboot, Mick. I can't. I've got no mouse. I'll have to unplug the mouse from it because I can't move nothing. Fucking stuck. Things all fucking frozen up. You gotta love live streams, innit you? Fucking hell. This is why when you're doing things live on streams, does it all go pear-shaped? No, you can actually hold the flux. Yeah, you can hold the flux, but he can't. I'm definitely not. Right, I've got to plug this at the back. For some reason, now I've got nothing. I can't move nothing because everything's froze. Oh, I see. Yeah, the power on that is obviously it's put from the metal across to the flux. It's fucking shorting something out now. I hope it ain't. God. That's it. It's all gone Peton. Don't worry. We'll get it sorted. Perhaps I should have said unplug it first. Right, have we got a mouse? No! Oh no! No, the ports are not working. Oh, this ain't good, guys. This is fucking going wrong here. Right, that one's working. No, the computer repair time. Yeah, that's not